I think I'm in that realm now where I'm always preparing for that double team, and I'm finding ways to create the one-on-ones or system ways for them to create those one-on-ones for me. But like we said in camp, it's almost expected at this point. I don't think anyone in the league is going to leave me one-on-one.
Micah Parsons had a dominant start to the season, racking up a league leading 11 pressures and 1 sack. He emerged as one of the most disruptive edge rushers in week 1. His impact was felt immediately as he consistently pressured the quarterback and disrupted the opposing team's offensive game plan. Parsons' versatility was on full display as he lined up both as an edge rusher and off-ball linebacker, showcasing his ability to impact from multiple positions. This performance set the tone for what promises to be another stellar season for the young defensive star. Mike Zimmer's scheme utilizes him everywhere, deploying him to exploit offense's weaknesses. This approach not only benefits Parsons, but also enhances the performance of the other 10 players on the field, a fact that was evident early in this game, Cowboys Nation. So when you're taking a look at Micah Parsons, it's thrilling to see Mike Zimmer using these guys in waves and keeping Deshaun Watson rattled in game 1. If this team is going to dominate the league this season, they absolutely need Parsons leading the way. He not only disrupts opposing offenses, but also elevates his teammates' play, a crucial factor for success this season. So in this play here, we will get straight down to it. Parsons is arguably the most athletic defensive player in the league, and this play shows that. His ability to be able to tip the ball in the air showcases his incredible skill. And it was good to see Eric Kendricks capitalizing on the opportunity, finishing the play with the interception. These plays here can set the tone and shift momentum, making the Cowboys be a force on the field. So activating the system. So zooming in on Micah Parsons, you see that he's lurking on Deshaun Watson, and he's trying to make a quick throw. Micah Parsons sees it, he jumps, and he tips the ball. And it's so good to be able to see this coming out of that defensive end position. It's not always about being able to get after the quarterback, but can you be one of the defensive ends to tip the ball in the air? And having a linebacker like Eric Kendricks to see it and attack the ball. And it's so good to be able to see this from your defensive end, Cowboys Nation. These type of plays here are fireworks. We know that Micah Parsons is super athletic and offenses have to game plan around. And there will be a lot of opportunities this season where he can be able to tip the ball. In Mike Zimmer's scheme, when you have this guy coming at the left side, the right side, as well as the linebacker position, it's rare to be able to find this type of talent. But with the experience with Mike Zimmer, I believe that he can be able to take Parsons' game to that next level. Not only having him, but Eric Kendricks having a great understanding of what Zimmer wants. These are the plays here that matter. So it's good to see Micah with lightning fast reflexes and precision in tipping the ball in the air, with Eric Kendricks' awareness to capitalize on his opportunity, going out there and getting it done. The great thing about having Micah Parsons on his defense is his ability to be able to close in and attack these quarterbacks within seconds. When you have someone as fast and powerful as him, it can reset the line of scrimmage and shock the offense. Parsons got after Watson the entire game, demonstrating this impact consistently. So you will see that tight end, he will be chipping Micah Parsons as these offenses do per usual. But the patience from Micah and having the ability to be able to slice in the interior and get his hands on Watson, this is how the line gets going. So we'll go and split it. So locking in on Micah Parsons, you see that tight end's trying to chip him. And it looked like he was going to the outside, but he plants that left foot. And the thing is, if you're going to be the Lion, you got to have those eyes. Position yourself to slant into the inside, get slippery, and get away from number 77. And the thing is, a lot of these players in the NFL cannot be able to do this. He is so bendy, and all it takes is half a second to be able to attack the quarterback. But when you have a player that can get chipped, he's planting his left foot, and next thing you know, within seconds, he's attacking the inside and getting to the quarterback. And one thing about the defense, interior pressure is the hardest thing from a quarterback to get around. So when you have a player that can be able to rush off the edges as well as the inside, that makes players like Micah Parsons lethal. So Parsons didn't just get after Deshaun Watson. He hunted him relentlessly throughout this game, proving that he has the ability to be an unstoppable force this season in Mike Zimmer's scheme. If the Dallas Cowboys are going to be an elite defense this year, they must excel at being able to stop the run. Having players like DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons can get things rolling. But when you draft a guy like Marshawn Nealon and pair him with these stars, it could potentially take this defense to the next level. Watching Micah and Marshawn use their hands effectively and close the lane where the running back was headed was a beautiful sight to see in the trenches. So we're going to spin it. So zooming in on Micah Parsons and Marshawn Nealon, you see that these guys are attacking these offensive linemen. they're using their hands. It seemed like Micah was going to get washed out to play because he has balance. He's able to disengage and attack that running back. But seeing Marshawn, he was on it as well. You got to have those dogs when it comes down to the interior. Players that can be able to use their hands well, evade these offensive linemen, and attack these ball carriers. And Micah has made a living being able to do these type of plays. He always has room to be able to get stronger, as well as guys like Marshawn Nealon. Because when you're playing against the top teams in the NFL, you got to be on top of it when it comes down to being able to stop the run, imposing your will, and being physical. So seeing Micah Parsons and Marshawn Nealon getting away from the offensive lineman and closing in was great to see by these two players. One thing I noticed about Parsons throughout the years is that he sometimes let quarterbacks slip away, leaving meat on the bone when it comes to potential sacks. We know that he's a bendy athlete. Making sure he gets his hands on these guys, wraps them up, and brings them down to the ground will be critical. If he can consistently do that, the sky is the limit for his potential sack total this season. So we'll go ahead and run it. So watching this play here, just studying Micah Parsons, there's a lot of movement on the offense, but Micah Parsons dissects the play and still closes in on the quarterback. But if you see his hands, you see how he's sticking his arms out. Getting down to the technique things is very important. Making sure that you can break down and get these players down. And he's one of the players, he does miss some sacks from time to time, but if he's on top of his game, I could see him having a 16 or more sack type of season. And Kalen Carson was supposed to intercept this ball too as well. Love to see the patience and the coverage from him. But with Micah Parsons being utilized on the left side, the right side, playing that linebacker position, we know that Mike Zimmer is going to deploy him at all angles of this defense. So making sure you can secure that sack, you got to be on top of it because he will be needed for big plays in this stretch run. Here's a play that was one of my favorites, showcasing Micah's football IQ as he dissects the play pre-snap. These moments are often highlighted because it demonstrates Micah's preparation and instincts. Having a player that can anticipate what the offense is about to do, lurk on the running back, and disrupt this play within seconds can definitely energize an entire defense. So they will be running a quick screen play. That center will be trying to get out to the perimeter and lead the way. But seeing Micah quickly diagnosing this play pre-snap, cutting through the offensive line, and getting to the running back before he can get going shows why this guy is a true difference maker. So we'll go ahead and run it. So keying on this play here, Micah Parsons is taking off and he's locking it on that running back. He already knows what's going on this play. Next thing you know, the running back turns around and gets the ball. But if Micah Parsons sees it, he has the speed to be able to close in and catch you. And it's hard to be able to get away from a guy that has the speed like Micah Parsons. Being over 245 pounds and running a 4.3, that is a scary thing to see when you're going up against him. But when I see these plays here, it shows that he is doing his homework, he is being a sponge, and he is watching film. And whenever you can be able to do that, it can translate to the field and you can play a lot faster. And that is what Parsons is bringing to this defense. But with Micah, he must maintain this mentality throughout the season. As the leader of this defense, he'll be the forefront if they're going to make some noise this year. There are no excuses for the Lion, Cowboys Nation. So on this final play here, you want to see your pass rushers relentlessly pursue the quarterback by any means necessary. Even if Parsons isn't bringing them down, he has a knack for engaging in contact, sending a clear message. Don't get comfortable. You got to love that energy from Micah because it disrupts the offense's timing and throws them off balance. And this is what you want to see from Micah because it's the little things that matter. So let's run it. So watching this play here, you see that the running back is chipping him per usual. And the thing is, Mike Zimmer's going to eventually have him in a position where these guys are not chipping him. He's going to find more ways to not allow offenses to put an extra body on him. But when you see the hand usage from Micah and finding a way to just be slippery and dip right under this offensive lineman, you have to continue to keep putting the body on this guy. And that's exactly what he did. And we know that Micah is the engine to keep this whole defense running. And with his athleticism, Mike Zimmer has never coached a player of this caliber. So it's going to be exciting to see how it plays out this season. Not only him, but DeMarcus Lawrence, Marshawn Nealon, Osa Odigizua. The list goes on and on. But if this team is going to take that next step, you got to have dogs in the front seven. And Micah Parsons is the player that's going to be leading the way. So this was a great game from Micah, having 11 pressures and 1 sack. He knows that this is going to be a big year for the Dallas Cowboys. They have really good defense, but when you're a team that can go into a hostile environment, playing the Cleveland Browns and having your way with these guys for 4 quarters, it was definitely a great start to the season. And I'm excited to see how Zimmer is going to deploy Micah throughout the season, because Micah has the ability to be able to wreck games all by himself. And when you have these players out there that's bringing that fire as well, this is how you create a dominant unit, Cowboys Nation. So comment below and let me know what you think about Micah Parsons' performance. And do you think that with him being in Mike Zimmer's scheme, it's going to take him to that next level? So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you don't hit it, you'll miss on fire live streams and the best Cowboys film sessions on YouTube. All right, Cowboys Nation. Talk to y'all soon. Gone.